So, what if the very AI app you downloaded to save your family's grocery budget is actually, like, the exact reason you are wasting hundreds of dollars a month?
Yeah, it's a terrifying thought, right?
It really is. Welcome to the deep dive. Today we are pulling from a single, highly impactful source. It's this fascinating article from AI365 titled The Inventory Mirage, Why Standard Meal Planning Apps Waste Hundreds of Dollars a Month in Hidden Household Leakage.
And it is an incredibly revealing piece of research because, it takes this universal modern problem and completely reframes the root cause.
Right.
Like, we always tend to blame ourselves for household inefficiency, but the data points directly to the underlying architecture of the tools we are actually using.
Absolutely. So our mission today is clear. We're going to uncover exactly why the standard AI chatbots and meal planning apps you rely on are secretly draining your grocery budget.
And more importantly, how to fix it.
Exactly. We are going to show you how to transform your kitchen into a highly optimized, zero-waste facility. Because, look, if you have ever felt that crushing, domestic friction of staring into a fridge at 5:30 p.m. trying to engineer a weekly meal plan out of thin air.
Oh, while dodging school schedules and variable budgets?
Yes, it is a nightmare. But this deep dive is custom tailored to solve that exact headache.
Yeah.
Usually, when you picture a highly optimized, high-tech logistics supply chain map, you imagine these massive, sterile warehouses.
Sure, like autonomous forklifts and glowing shipping routes.
Right, spanning the globe. But I want you to take that exact same image and overlay it right on top of a modern family kitchen.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, picture it projected over the half-empty fridge, the scattered lunchboxes on the counter, and, that chaotic whiteboard schedule on the wall.
It is a jarring visual, for sure, colliding domestic chaos with military-grade supply chain tracking. But that domestic friction you mentioned, it is so real.
It really is.
Millions of parents engage in this exhausting defensive routing every single week. They are attempting to piece together meals based on fading memory and, disjointed grocery runs. It is a massive invisible tax on your mental bandwidth.
Okay, let's unpack this.
No.
Because the common wisdom right now is that generative AI is supposed to be the magic bullet for this exact headache.
Right. That is the marketing promise, yeah.
Like the standard behavior for anyone trying to get their life together on a Sunday afternoon is to open up their favorite model and type in a loose command. Something like, give me a healthy 7-day family meal plan and a grocery list.
Right.
And on the surface, that sounds like a super smart, proactive move to get ahead of the week.
It does. But according to the source, it is actually an expensive operational failure masquerading as a solution.
Really?
Yeah. When you simply ask a standard model for a list, you are fundamentally breaking the system. And it comes down to how these generative models inherently function at a technical level.
Because they aren't actually thinking about the physical food in your fridge, are they? They are just predicting text.
That is the core issue, exactly. Large language models process recipes as isolated, static blocks of text. They're trained on billions of aspirational internet food blogs and restaurant menus.
Ah. Right, the aspirational stuff.
Yes. So because of that training data, their probabilistic output naturally favors thematic, elaborate meals. They optimize for novelty.
Okay.
They completely lack localized context. So when an unguided AI generates a meal plan for you, it essentially treats every single day as a blank slate.
Let me put this into a different context to show the mechanism of why this fails so badly. Because relying on standard AI for your groceries is kind of like hiring an eccentric interior designer.
Okay, I like this.
Right, so imagine this designer completely demolishes your perfectly good living room furniture every single morning just to build a brand new aesthetic from scratch every single day.
Oh, wow. That sounds exhausting.
Right. It looks great on paper, but it is a financial nightmare in reality. Because they aren't using the couch you already own, they're just buying a new one.
That analogy perfectly illustrates the structural flaw. The AI is optimizing for a complete, culturally coherent text output for each prompt. It is totally blind to physical reality.
Exactly.
And the article actually breaks down this failure into 3 distinct systemic flaws, beginning with what they call the perishable fragmentation bias.
The perishable fragmentation bias,
Yeah.
which essentially translates to the crisper drawer of death.
Yes, exactly.
But walk me through the mechanics. How does the AI actually cause this fragmentation?
Well, it happens because the AI selects recipes with 0 structural overlap.
Yeah.
Like, it wants Monday to be an authentic Italian pasta dish,
Yeah.
and then Tuesday has to be an authentic Thai curry. To achieve that thematic completeness, it generates a grocery list requiring, 3 different types of specialized vinegar, 4 distinct fresh herbs,
Oh, man. Yeah.
and weird protein weights that do not align at all with standard grocery store packaging units.
All right, so you end up needing like a quarter cup of buttermilk for Wednesday's baking project. And the AI just happily adds buttermilk to the list.
Exactly.
It doesn't care that you can only buy buttermilk in a quart carton. And it certainly doesn't plan another meal on Friday to use up the remaining 80% of that carton.
Nope.
So it just sits there, spoiling.
And that leads directly to the second system failure, which is the inventory blind spot. Standard planners build menus completely detached from the physical assets already sitting in your kitchen.
Because, like the interior designer, it doesn't know you have a half-used bag of frozen spinach or surplus jasmine rice or, chicken breast sitting in the freezer.
It ignores those assets entirely. It forces you to buy duplicate items or new novel ingredients while your existing food degrades and ultimately expires.
That is so frustrating.
It really is a double financial penalty. I mean, you overspend on new items you barely use, and you throw away the food you already paid for.
But there's a third failure here, and honestly, this one feels the most punishing because it deals with time. The article calls it the schedule disconnect.
Oh, this one is huge.
Right. Standard planners blindly assume you have this identical, perfectly open 60-minute window to casually chop vegetables and simmer sauces every single night.
This is exactly where standard planners fail the reality test of modern household management. They are completely ignorant of temporal bottlenecks.
They blissfully ignore the chaos of, like, a Thursday evening.
Yes.
The AI will schedule a complex, multi-pan risotto execution for a night when you have back-to-back extracurricular activities and maybe 20 minutes of actual free time.
It literally generates a plan that is physically impossible for you to execute within your real-world time constraints.
And we all know the fallout of that. You look at the clock, you look at the complex recipe the AI generated, you look at your exhausted family, and you just abandon the plan entirely.
Yep.
You end up spending $80 on emergency takeout.
What's fascinating here is how the technology's primary strength becomes its critical weakness in this specific application.
How so?
Well, it's doing exactly what it was built to do.
Yeah.
Generate creative, varied text. I mean, a list of 7 unique, delicious recipes looks beautiful on a screen.
Sure.
But when you try to force that creative text generation onto a physical, constrained environment, like a household with a set budget and a chaotic Thursday night schedule, it creates massive logistical friction.
Because standard AI inherently treats meal planning as a creative brainstorming session, we have to radically shift the approach.
Right.
The article argues that to fix this, you have to change how you command these tools. You basically have to strip away the creativity and inject hard data.
Exactly.
You have to transition from being a defensive meal planner to operating like a lean logistics manager using what they call the inventory matrix protocol.
Yes.
But I have to push back on this premise just a little bit.
Okay, go for it.
Because on the surface, treating meal prep like you are managing a corporate warehouse sounds incredibly bleak. Doesn't that suck all the joy out of family dinners?
I hear that a lot.
Like, are you just eating nutrient paste because the AI determined it was chronologically efficient?
It is a really common hesitation when people hear terms like logistics applied to the home. But true domestic engineering isn't about eating boring food or removing culinary joy.
Okay.
It is about forcing your ingredients to pull double duty so you can eliminate the underlying anxiety of household management. The joy isn't in finding the most novel recipe on the internet.
Right.
The joy returns when the stress of rotting vegetables, blown budgets, and Thursday night takeout emergencies completely disappears.
Oh, that makes total sense.
Yeah, by acting as a ruthless, lean logistics manager on the front end, you actually buy back your peace of mind.
So the relief comes from the lack of friction, not from pretending you're a Michelin star chef on a random Tuesday. I can understand that trade-off.
Yeah.
So how does this inventory matrix protocol actually work? What are the hard requirements to set this up?
Well, the foundational rule of the protocol is that you must stop using loose, unconstrained prompts. Before you allow the machine to generate a single menu item, you must feed it 3 distinct sets of hard data.
Okay, what are they?
First, your exact physical inventory. You have to tell it what you already own. Second, your hard budget parameters. And third, your calendar constraints and daily time bottlenecks.
So you are basically building the parameters of the warehouse before you ask it to move any boxes.
That is a great way to put it. If we connect this to the bigger picture, Household management is truly a continuous optimization problem masquerading as domestic life.
Right.
When you leave an AI unconstrained, it acts as a naive recipe aggregator. But when you provide it with heavily constrained variables like inventory, budget, and time, it flips.
It flips.
Yeah, it transitions from a creative writer into a highly capable supply chain manager.
Here's where it gets really interesting, because talking about theoretical supply chains is one thing, but the source material runs a side-by-side simulation of a typical family household setup to prove the value.
Let's dive into that.
Yeah, let's look at the standard AI output first, the logistical failure, and contrast it with the protocol.
Let's analyze the baseline first. What did the standard unguided prompt generate for this hypothetical family?
Well, the unguided AI gave them a menu of creamy garlic spinach chicken with a side salad for day 1.
Okay.
Day 2 was a beef and broccoli stir-fry with ginger. Day 3 was a Mediterranean chickpea salad with fresh dill and feta cheese.
Which sounds completely reasonable until you look at the back-end logistics. What does the resulting grocery list look like?
It's a disaster. It generates a list of 28 unique unlinked ingredients. The total estimated cost to execute those 3 days is $195.
Wow. And if we look at the physical reality of that $195 spend, you see the hidden leakage immediately. The fresh dill required for the chickpea salad is used as a garnish exactly once, and the remainder wilts in the drawer. The bag of spinach purchased for the chicken is only half emptied.
And what about the stir-fry?
The stir-fry requires specialized sauces like hoisin and a specific chili paste that are used by the teaspoon and will just sit in the refrigerator door for the next 6 months.
Right.
Ultimately, that price tag breaches the standard family grocery budget. It is a textbook fragmented loss.
So it looks great on a Pinterest board, but it financially punishes the household.
Exactly.
So let's run that exact same household through the inventory matrix protocol, what the article calls the professional standard. How does the AI handle the data when we force it to look at the constraints?
The transformation happens organically through the simulation timeline. The AI is first given an asset exhaustion target.
Okay, asset exhaustion target.
Yes. In this scenario, the user inputs their existing inventory. They have 3 chicken breasts, an open bag of spinach, and a surplus of jasmine rice. The AI immediately halts impending spoilage dead in its tracks by deploying those exact assets into Monday and Tuesday. It builds the foundation of the menu around what is already depreciating in the kitchen.
So it literally will not allow you to buy new protein until the old protein is exhausted.
Correct. But then the AI has to factor in the temporal constraints.
Right, the time bottlenecks.
Yeah, Monday is mapped as a standard night with ample cooking time, so it schedules the existing chicken and spinach over the existing rice. Simple, zero-cost execution.
Nice.
But Tuesday is flagged by the user as a soccer practice bottleneck. The AI is told there is a 20-minute maximum execution window for dinner.
So the complex stir-fry is immediately off the table for Tuesday.
The AI pivots. It generates a one-pot lemon chicken soup, utilizing the last of the existing chicken.
Okay.
But to build the flavor profile of that soup, the AI determines it needs a 1-bunch block of fresh parsley and a 3-pound bulk bag of carrots.
Wait, hold on. If Tuesday is just a quick soup, telling a user to buy a massive 3-pound bag of carrots is throwing them right back into the perishable fragmentation bias.
I see where you're going with this.
Right. You only need 2 carrots for a pot of soup. That leaves over 2 pounds of carrots just sitting in the fridge. That's the crisper drawer of death all over again. How does the system justify a bulk purchase for a 20-minute meal?
It justifies it because the AI is no longer thinking in isolated 24-hour blocks. It is mapping the entire week sequentially.
Oh, I see.
The AI knows that on Wednesday, which is a standard night with no time constraints, it is scheduling roasted sheet pan salmon. And the side dish for that salmon,
Let me guess.
glazed carrots, utilizing the exact bulk asset it forced you to purchase for Tuesday's soup.
Okay, that changes the math completely. The Tuesday soup isn't an isolated event. It's a strategic entry point for Wednesday's side dish.
And the sequencing continues. Thursday is flagged in the calendar as an extended bottleneck, meaning a severe time crunch where cooking is essentially impossible.
The chaotic Thursday.
Yes. The AI anticipates this and deploys a zero-effort slow cooker white bean and green stew. And to finish that stew, it utilizes the exact remaining half of the fresh parsley bunch that was opened on Tuesday.
It really is like a perfectly choreographed culinary relay race.
Exactly.
The baton being passed seamlessly from runner to runner isn't just a metaphor. It's a physical 3-pound bag of bulk carrots or a bunch of parsley. One meal deliberately sets up the next meal, ensuring zero wasted motion and zero wasted food.
And that cross-utilization completely alters the financial reality of the household. Because the AI forced the ingredients to pull double duty across multiple days, the total estimated grocery spend drops dramatically compared to the unconstrained model.
Looking at the simulation data here, the spend drops from $195 down to a staggering $64.50.
It's incredible.
That's its 57% below the household's hard grocery budget ceiling.
That $130 difference is the hidden leakage. That is the cost of letting an AI brainstorm creatively rather than manage logistically.
What?
But the protocol goes one step further into what the article calls the iteration routine. The AI is programmed to bind meals together to solve future bottlenecks before the user even experiences them.
How did that play out in the simulation?
Well, the AI perfectly binds Wednesday night's roasted salmon directly to Thursday morning's lunch execution.
Okay.
The prompt instructs the user to cook extra salmon portions on Wednesday and then provides a secondary directive to flake the leftover cold salmon fillets into whole wheat wraps with greens.
Oh, brilliant.
This requires absolute zero active cooking time before the morning school run on Thursday. The dinner asset automatically becomes the lunch solution.
So it solves the Thursday morning panic on Wednesday night while you are already standing at the stove. It is buying back your time and your mental bandwidth before you even realize you were going to need it.
Precisely.
So what does this all mean? Let's synthesize the ultimate takeaway here.
Yeah.
The big lesson from AI 365 is that if you rely on unconstrained AI tools to just pull random, visually appealing recipes from the internet, you are making a terrible trade.
A very expensive trade.
Yeah. You are trading a few seconds of short-term convenience up front for chronic financial and material waste all week long. The blank slate delusion forces you to overspend on fragmented ingredients while your existing pantry rots.
Right.
To fix this, you have to lock down your inventory. You have to map out your calendar bottlenecks, like those chaotic Thursdays, and feed that hard data into the machine. You have to stop planning defensively and take absolute command of your household logistics.
The shift from creative brainstorming to lean logistics is what finally aligns these powerful models with the actual demands of your daily life. You turn a text generator into a supply chain manager.
And it seems like the only logical way to operate if you want to reclaim that lost budget. We strongly encourage you to deploy this exact inventory matrix protocol before your next weekend grocery run. Lock down your inventory, map your bottlenecks, and transform your kitchen from a chaotic expense vortex into a highly optimized facility.
This raises an important question, something really profound to mull over. If treating your kitchen like a lean, zero-waste logistics facility saves hundreds of dollars and reclaims so much of your mental bandwidth,
Yeah.
what happens when you apply this exact same strict inventory matrix protocol to the rest of your life?
Oh, wow.
Imagine applying this ruthless optimization to your household cleaning supplies. I mean, how many duplicate, half-empty bottles of specialized cleaners are sitting under your sink right now?
Do make it count.
Right. Or consider your digital subscriptions. What happens when you track the exact utilization of every streaming service against the actual hours you have available to watch them?
It's a scary thought.
Or even your wardrobe, mapping your clothing assets against your actual scheduling constraints to eliminate the panic of getting dressed every morning. The kitchen might just be the testing ground.
We will leave you to run those numbers and see where the hidden leakage is hiding in the rest of your life. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. We'll catch you next time.